you will hear me referring to those of us who have ME as ME warriors because living with this illness requires unimaginable strength. By a show of hands, how many of you have ever gone to a doctor's office, urgent care, and or emergency room with a health concern? Now, keep your hands up if you have ever felt like a doctor did not take your concern seriously and or dismissed it altogether. Unfortunately, we are not alone in that experience. Historically, this country's healthcare has harmed women by way of structural violence and continues to do so, especially when it comes to women who present with symptoms that cannot be explained by easy diagnosis. Instead of admitting they have no idea what's wrong and need to do more research, doctors will instead tell these women that their physical symptoms are all in their heads. As you can imagine, this frequently leads to negative sequelae for those women. To prevent history from continuing to repeat itself, we must work together to become the vessels of change. I'm going to share my story and give you some ways you can be a part of that change, specifically in relation to ME warriors. For some reason, I felt I was immune to structural violence in healthcare. That was, of course, until it happened to me. Prior to becoming ill with ME, I was the picture of health. I worked out 4 to 5 days a week, doing high-intensity interval training, a form of working out that is not only extremely efficient, but also very physically taxing. I did not drink or smoke. In fact, I have never even been drunk in my life, and I am knocking on 40 sure. Yes, I know, I am definitely a square. I not only lived a very healthy lifestyle, but was also a registered nurse before ME, and will forever be a nurse at heart in spite of ME. While working as a neonatal intensive care unit nurse in August 2016, I suddenly became ill with a virus that initially attacked my lungs. Now, because I have a history of asthma, the doctors assumed that this was just a severe asthma exacerbation and treated me for that. Even though I was a nurse equipped with extensive inside knowledge on how to navigate the healthcare industry as a patient, I still encountered more than one physician who did not take my concerns seriously when I voiced them early on. I told them that this is something more than just a severe asthma exacerbation. I was so sick. I was admitted to the hospital twice in August 2016. During my second hospitalization, I told my pulmonologist, this is more than asthma. He said, no, it's just asthma, and continued to treat me for that. I was extremely fit and healthy prior to becoming ill, so how come a severe asthma exacerbation could make me this sick that I not only was hospitalized once, but like I stated, twice in the same month? They treated me aggressively for an asthma exacerbation, and I wasn't getting better. Additionally, I had many symptoms such as profound muscle weakness, voice hoarseness, and overwhelming fatigue that cannot be explained by a severe asthma exacerbation. Nevertheless, my pulmonologist kept saying, this is just a really bad asthma attack that, quote, knocked me down. Okay, I thought to myself, that would make sense if I were elderly and frail, or a person with comorbidities such as diabetes, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, etc. I didn't fall into either of those categories. So how could this be a severe asthma exacerbation? That doesn't even make sense. You don't have to be a doctor to understand that. I advocated for myself every way that I knew how. I mean, I was a nurse. I thought, hey, I know how to navigate this healthcare industry. I'll get somewhere. Of note, I had HMO insurance, so it wasn't like I could just go to another specialist unless I wanted to pay out of pocket. So that was a challenge. So 3 months I spent badgering my pulmonologist, telling him, like, this is more than asthma, I'm not getting better, I have these other symptoms that even you can't explain as an asthma attack. So I need to be referred to someone else. Finally, he agreed to refer me to an allergist, because I said, well, maybe I'm suddenly allergic to foods that are causing inflammation in my body and making me sick. So he agreed to that referral. Sent me to the allergist. The allergist ran multiple tests, and about 2 weeks later, I ended up hospitalized again. This time with no respiratory symptoms. I only had gastrointestinal symptoms. So I spent Thanksgiving in the hospital. Finally, my pulmonologist agreed, okay, this is not just asthma. So I was able to get referral. I asked first for a referral to an infectious disease specialist. So I thought to myself, maybe I have some sort of parasite or something. Like, there has to be something. This is not a regular virus, because why am I still so sick? I go to see the infectious disease specialist. He was useless. He spent about 10 minutes with me. He did run a few blood tests, but nothing extensive, and sent me on my way. So after that appointment and that experience, I thought, let me get my medical records together, because I might have to go outside of my HMO and see a doctor and pay cash, because I need answers. I have not been able to work. I'm a nurse. I'm a single mom. Like, I need to get back to life. So I requested those records, including the consultation note from the infectious disease specialist. What do you think he wrote on that consultation note? He wrote that these symptoms were probably caused by a psychological illness.
No, you're kidding.
Okay, so you only spent 10 minutes max with me, didn't even physically examine me, and you have the audacity to write on my consult note that it was all in my head, basically. I don't think so. I sent that doctor an email. It wasn't very nice. And I demanded that he remove that from my record, because that's not accurate. Where do you get the grounds to say that it was psychological? You didn't even, you spent 10 minutes with me. Like, are you kidding me? So he did comply, because my email wasn't very nice. It was professional, but not nice. I requested another copy of that record, and that was gone. He apologized profusely.
Really?
He said that I was right. He had no right to write that, etc. So thank you very much. But still, here I am thinking, like, I know how to navigate the healthcare industry as a patient, because I know both sides. And even I was a victim of structural violence by not one, but two physicians who I thought, hey, we're both medical professionals. We both speak the same language, so I should be able to get somewhere. So, after that appointment with the infectious disease specialist and requesting my records, etc., I saw multiple specialists. I saw I saw a cardiologist, I saw an endocrinologist, I saw a rheumatologist, I did see actually a pulmonologist for a second opinion, because I just really was trying to figure out what in the world is going on. It wasn't until many, many months later, and another hospitalization, that I finally was able to see an ME specialist and get a diagnosis. Now, remember, I went through all of this, multiple doctors, multiple hospitalizations, and really, 9 months of being sick, actually, before I finally got diagnosed. Ironically, I was diagnosed on May 12th, 2017. That is International ME Awareness Day every year. So that was the day that I received my diagnosis. Imagine that.
That's funny.
Right? Imagine that. And really, being diagnosed at 9 months, although to you guys it may seem like, wow, 9 months before getting diagnosed, that was a short time. Most people who tell this story tell stories of years and years of going to doctors before they finally get a diagnosis, because again, doctors just dismiss them. Oh, it's in your head. Oh, you need to rest. Oh, you need to exercise more. And my doctors could never use that. When I got sick, I was literally buff. Like, I was so fit, I looked like a trainer. So you can use I needed to exercise as the explanation for this illness. So, what do you do when you get diagnosed on International ME Awareness Day? You advocate. You decide that there's a reason that happened. You may not know what the reason is, but that means definitely advocate for those people, including yourself, who are sick with ME. ME took my nursing career. I worked really, really hard. become a nurse. I sacrificed a lot. I was raising my children while I was in nursing school, and nursing for me was not just a career, it is who I am at the core. It is a part of my identity. So to have lost that was very devastating. I am in a wheelchair when I'm outside of my home. This is my wheelchair. I spend most of my time actually in my bed. I am pretty severely ill with multiple symptoms. I mean, I'm not able to shower every day, and I have a shower chair. I'm not able to comb my hair every day, brush my teeth. I mean, there's times that I go weeks without being able to wash my hair, but that's because of this illness and what it does to you. Without a cure, without more research on our illness, without more doctors taking us seriously, I will never work again. And it's still pretty possible that if they do find a cure or medication to treat this illness, because there aren't any, there's not one med that is FDA approved for myalgic encephalomyelitis. So without that, and even if that happens, I still may never be able to return to nursing because the damage may have already been too great, even though I've only been sick now for going on 2 years. ME attacks every system in your body. It leaves no organ unaffected. In fact, I am currently attached to a continuous EKG heart monitor because, like Terry, I have some heart issues going on. By the time I get this off, I will have been wearing it continuously for 14 days. So hopefully the doctors will be able to use the information that they gather from this monitor to give me something that could at least help with my cardiac symptoms. It's not going to help with the rest of the symptoms. It's not going to help with my muscle weakness. It's not going to help with the numbness and tingling in my hands and feet. It's not going to help with the burning pain in my hands and feet. It's not going to help my GI issues because I have lots of those, and that's common within me. It's not going to help my brain fog, which impairs my ability to comprehend what I read. It also causes memory loss. I mean, most of my long-term memory is intact, but some of it isn't. My short-term memory is a joke. I mean, it's like my daughter always says, like, Mom, you act like you have Alzheimer's. I'm like, yeah, that's what brain fog feels like. That's exactly what it feels like. So we need more people to actually take this illness seriously, do more research. More funding needs to be allocated to the National Institutes of Health, at the National Institutes of Health for this illness specifically, and other illnesses that are invisible, chronic illnesses, autoimmune, that primarily affect women. So, how I have been raising awareness about this illness, I have done it on my social media. I've used that as a platform. So I'm on Facebook under my name, Ashanti Daniel. I'm also on Instagram. My Instagram username is AshantiRN, and I'm going to keep that username even though I'm unable to work as a nurse anymore. Hashtags that you can look up if you guys are on social media are #MillionsMissing, because so many of us are missing from our lives. Like at the Millions Missing March that happened in May, on May 12th, all over the world, if you look up pictures, you'll see pictures of shoes of all the people who are missing because of ME, and they'll say, like on mine, my shoe said my name, my age, and that I am missing from nursing. So that's a hashtag that you can look up, #MillionsMissing. There's another hashtag, Time for Unrest, and we came up with that hashtag after Jen's documentary, Unrest. So you'll see a lot of posts from people with ME if you look up that hashtag. Another hashtag is, Can You See ME Now? Because again, it's an invisible illness. So I don't look sick on the outside. If you just saw me, you would never know that I was ill. If I wasn't in my wheelchair and I was just sitting in the chair, you would think, oh, she's perfectly healthy, but I'm not. So can you see ME now? We want to be seen. It is time to be heard. It is time for the NIH to do something about this because, I mean, we're dying from this illness. Another way that you can help, this is a really small way, but, you know, a lot of small ways go a long way. are turned into big ways. Amazon, I know everyone orders from Amazon. I mean, come on. Amazon is the new way. So if you go to smile.amazon.com instead of just amazon.com, a portion of your purchase, it's a small portion, but again, small portion add together make big. You can choose an organization for a portion of your payment to go towards. So you can select ME Action Network, which I have selected. So whenever I order supplements off Amazon, I make sure to order it from smile.amazon.com, and it doesn't cost you anymore. The price is still the same. They just give a portion of the proceeds to an organization of your choice. There are also email lists that you can sign up for. ME Action Network has a website that you can access and get on their email list. Open Medicine Foundation has a website you can access, get on their list. You can also follow them on Facebook. There is Solve ME/CFS that you can access their website and get on their list. And of course, you can visit our table that we have outside of the main ballroom for more information and goodies. Well, I wish I could say my experience with structural violence is unique, but it is not. How many more women have to get sick and die due to structural violence before we do something about it? It is up to us to become the vessels of change now. In the words of Michelle Obama, there is no limit to what we, as women, can accomplish. We are the millions missing. Can you see ME now?